Yo, we back at it. We live. Happy Saturday. Cheers to the weekend. Let's have some fun. Let's make sure we got some plans, some ways to get out and move the body, move the mind, move your energy. It's always important, man. But I want to continue today. We're talking about money, fitness, relationships, and dating. Remember, there's a distinction between dating and relationships. Different skill sets, different game, different approach, different mindset. But I want to continue on these topics and push a little bit further. Remember, yesterday I really made a lot of effort talking about, or a lot of focus talking about leverage. How do you become rare and exclusive? That's what people are ultimately looking for, is that exclusivity. But you got to become that. So if you didn't watch the episode from yesterday, make sure you check that out either after this one or before this one. But you want that information. So let's start with money, right? So we're talking about with the money concept, how what you're really looking to do is become rare and unique. So you're developing certain skill sets. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday who enjoys music. I'm like, look, if you got really, really good at music and you just enjoy it, you put your heart, your energy, your effort into it, your mind thinks like topical, right? So it's like, okay, like if I get good at this, I could have an album. Maybe I could play concerts. Sure. And also, if you get really good at that, you can teach lessons, you can teach classes, you can keep groups, you can teach online courses, whatever it is. But you really start to narrow that niche out when you become the expert, when you're willing to go down and create what we called yesterday leverage, getting really good at something. Because when you're really good at it, you become the rare thing. And that's what people actually want, right? They want that exclusivity and someone who's really good at the thing, become rare. Okay, but now I want to talk about today, like, how do you actually do that? Because that's probably the next question in your mind. Like, all right, dope, get the concept. I want to become exclusive. I want to be rare. But how do I get that? So hold on. So how do you do it? Typically, it's going to be, I got this quote from Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell wrote a book called The Hero's Journey. And The Hero's Journey, if you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend that at least every man read this book. At least the bullet points. You can find some videos online even that kind of describe it really well. But I remember reading this book and really realizing, like, holy shit, like that's my life. Like that resonates with me. Like this is the journey of life. And it mimics a lot of movies, like a lot of very popular movies, like Star Wars, Gladiator, Lord of the Rings, movies like this, these very, very kind of like standing the test of time type movies, because it follows this plot line of the hero's journey. The hero's journey is essentially you are an ordinary person existing in the ordinary world. And then you leave the ordinary world and you arch out into the world of unknown. And here you face a bunch of challenges. You kind of get called to this journey. And typically what happens is you get your ass kicked. But then along the way, as you kind of like recalibrate, you retreat for a moment, you meet the mentors, you meet Yoda, right? You learn certain skill sets, but the game ain't over. Now you're a Jedi, right? You've got new skill sets, new way of being. You think, you behave, you walk differently. And you go back out there again. That's the keys. You have to re-enter into this unknown, leave the ordinary world into the extraordinary world. And you re-enter it and you face other series of challenges. But this time you're leveled up, you're skilled for it. And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you enter this hero's journey. And that's kind of like, that's the journey of the boy to the man, like I talked about yesterday as well. And then what happens at the end of that is you learn things, and that's the treasure. And then you bring the treasure back and you share with others. So I believe that's a lot of what we are as men called to do. So anyways, in this book, my favorite quote is, he says, "The cave you fear to enter is the cave that holds the treasure." So when we're talking about being unique, being rare, having this exclusive type of skill set, essentially, how do you do that? Well, you have to enter that cave repeatedly. You have to enter into the thing that you fear over and over. That's ultimately how you develop who you are. That's how you increase your skill set. You become the rare object. So if it's we're just going to use music as an example, right? Because we're just on that topic, but it can be any number of things. Let's say it's learning to be a musician. Like what you're looking for is those fearful, rare type of moments. And so maybe that means actually picking up the phone, like finding the phone number, a contact list of certain other musicians and reaching out and going, hey, this is who I am. I'm trying to learn this. You're really good at this thing. I'd love to learn from you. You're reaching out, connecting, doing something you're afraid of. Maybe that means you actually go play at, the bars or the coffee shops over and over until you learn certain skill sets. Like these are the things that people typically avoid. They want to find like the road to success to like, they think it's like this like easy, smoothed out path. And if they can just kind of move here and make it here, then eventually they'll get there to success. And look, I'm sure some people have done that. Plenty of people get lucky breaks. But I'll tell you what, 99% of the time, a lucky break is just consistency. It's honoring the right action and doing it repeatedly over and over. And entering the cave that you fear to enter. That's where the magic takes place. That's where the treasure is. So you do that over and over and over again, consistently and repeatedly. And then you develop yourself into someone worth following, right? And that's when you get paid the big bucks. So you have to find those places in your life. What are you avoiding? Where is the fear that you're avoiding? And go enter that cave, because that's what holds the treasure. So when you're looking at money, I want you to start getting narrowed down on certain niches, dude. And that's the crazy thing about a niche, right? And if you're not familiar with a niche is, it's like being specific with what you do. It can be very broad. Like let's say, let's say it's music, right? You're like, I want to play music. Okay, well, what kind of music? I want to use the guitar. Okay, now we narrowed it down. I want to play the I don't know guitars. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, let's say the electric guitar. And there's a certain style of electric guitar, and there's a certain style of music I like to play. Now we're getting niche down. And so then when you advertise or you put yourself out there as the expert in this area, that'll attract other people who are really into that thing. And I learned this actually from Seth Godin, who's a marketing like expert. He said, like, true success, you're not trying to attract a million people. That's what most people think. Like, I want everybody to like it. But really, what you need to be successful in your career is the concept he shared was like the Grateful Dead. Like, you've probably heard of the Grateful Dead, the group Grateful Dead. Dude, I couldn't tell you one song of the Grateful Dead. But that band has been around for years and years and has like a cult following that followed around. So that's actually what you're looking to do. And you only can do that by being like rare and exclusive, like niching down. So you're looking for your niche, you get narrow on the thing. And so when you're looking to develop your skill sets, bro, it can be certain kind of art, a music. It can be certain skill sets, like little side hustle businesses. It can be like, dude, you could do it landscaping, but you have a certain texture and a certain style to it. Whatever it is, you're looking, how do I get niche down and then become the fucking best at it, the master at it. That's where you're going to get, we call it like exponential growth, or like hockey stick growth, right? Like everything's just kind of like you're moving along, you're in the ordinary world, but as you get further out from people, like there's less people there, and you get better and better at what you're doing, and eventually you hit this big like hockey stick type of growth. And that's where your like deep levels of success come. Okay, so then fitness, right? Let's move into that. What do you? Because yesterday I talked about like being rare, being exclusive with your fitness, how that helps you in your dating life, even your relationships, your mental game, your emotional game, all that shit, right? Because you get to get energy out. You know, sometimes you go for a jog, right? And you just think of things different. Like, damn, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'm gonna let it go. Or you're like, I need to go talk to that person. It gives you a lot of mental and emotional clarity. So fitness alone is super fucking powerful. But how do you actually do these things? It's probably going to be similar to what we just talked about. There's going to be a little moment of resistance. And so what you're looking for, I find this to be deeply spiritual actually, is you'll have these little like moments of awakening, right? You're like, damn, I need to fucking join a gym. Let's say you're not even working out right now. Like, I need to do this. That's the moment of awakening. And typically what I suggest is you follow that with your finances. You invest into it, because then it matters. It means something to you. So you have this moment where like, I need to fucking join the gym. I need to get it going. But if you think about it, if you wait, it'll just disappear, right? It'll be replaced with something else. So in that moment, you're like, yo, I'm signing up. What do I got to do? I'm going to go get the running shoes. I'm going to buy the gym membership. I'm going to get some new clothes. Like, you put investment energy into it, so it matters to you. That which we invest in matters more to you and I. So we got to follow it with our money. That's why we have to like invest in the things that we want to actually learn from and get better at. So you have this window, this spiritual moment, something has happened, and it opens a window. Like the heavy, dark, heavier energy that's kind of holding you down a lot of times in life gets removed for whatever reason. Usually oftentimes through pain or certain situations, it gets removed, and you move through it. You take action and you go there. Okay, so now you've got the membership, right? But what most people do is they'll start with like making the goal. They'll look at the goal as like, I need to work out 4 days a week, and I need to do these things, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you right now, from working in that industry for many years and being very, very successful in that arena, and working with 10,000 hours at least in that arena, probably 20,000 hours working with clients in the trenches, becoming one of the top trainers in the entire world, like literally being on stage for Personal Trainer of the Year award. And but what happens with people is we make that goal, it's overwhelming, right? And you don't even know if it can work yet. So you start and you develop the goal from like a psychological, mental standpoint, but you don't know if it fits into your routine or your life or your energy space even. And so let's say you're like, I got to work out 4 days a week, 5 days a week. You're all motivated. Well, then when you work out 3 days a week, which is actually really fucking good, especially if you haven't been working out at all, then you have this emotional collapse, right? You're like, fuck, man, I'm only working out 3 days a week. I needed to run today, whatever it is. So what I found is if you flip it, so you're like, I just want to get out and move at least once a week. You start with that. This week, let's move once. All right, you make that the goal. And notice how I exchanged exercise for movement. Like just get out and move, get your body moving. That's going to allow, it's different framing for the mind. Like exercise is kind of like heavy. I got to go exercise. But when we just get out and we move, it's a different energy. It's easier to do. Your mind can kind of fall into that. Same with eating and nutrition. I'll tell you, like the secret right now is don't think of it as like I got to eat great or perfect, or I got to have like awesome nutrition. Just eat clean. Tell yourself, eat clean, make clean decisions. Eating clean is not very hard, is it? See, your mind already kind of starts to change. Like, all right, I could eat clean. So we do the same thing with exercise. You just need to move 1 day a week. Get out there and move your body, get in motion, put yourself in motion. And so what happens is you'll do that. You'll work out or you move at least 1 day a week for 20 minutes. And what you'll find is you're like, damn, I want to go again. You'll probably go another time or two. But now you're in an upward cycle. Your brain, you've tricked your brain into believing that you are winning. And you want to create what's called a winner effect. Another concept we can get into at some point. But when you believe that you're winning, you're more likely to do it. And you actually get more reward systems from the mind. Your testosterone can actually go up. You get more dopamine, more serotonin, all kinds of like little like this chemical cocktail of good emotions when you believe that you're winning in life. So we develop our routine that way. And then rather than focusing on the goal, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to be in great shape. We can look at that. Every now and then we peak up, like, all right, that's what I want to do. I want to do that thing. But we go back to the process, back to the moment. But this is the thing that's going to get me there. So then you take repeated action over and over until you actually arrive. And we tweak the dial of the process. Okay, so I've done 1 week or 1 day of 20 minutes of movement. And then maybe we upgrade it just a little bit. All right, let's do 2 of those. And you know what? It's important that this is important actually, that you stay loose, you enjoy the process. Let's add something else in that isn't the gym. Let's do something that's like yoga or it's dancing. And here's what's cool about creating that mental frame of it being movement versus exercise is when we think about movement, now you can put a lot of different things in there, can't you? So like what I'll do, like, and you could do this as well, right? You have a little break of time, just go out and walk. That's movement. Maybe you go outside and you play ball with the kids. You're tossing the ball around. I'll do that, but I'll run around a little bit more. I'll move. I'll roll out. I'll pass the ball here. We'll shoot hoops, whatever it is. I'm like, there we go. I got it. I moved. And so you just build up from there. Dance class. I go to dance. I love dancing or jujitsu. I'll do martial arts. And I just think of it as movement. Just got to move the body. And like my goal eventually, what I built myself into was I'd go 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days. Pretty soon it's like 6 days a week. And so that's my goal, 6 days a week, just to get out and move the body, whatever it is. Just put a little extra effort right where you start to break a sweat and you'll feel fantastic. So that's how you mentally frame it, but it's going to start with you having resistance. And that's what we want to get really clear on. In fact, there's a book that I'd strongly recommend by Stephen Pressfield called The War of Art. Fantastic. Not The Art of War. That's a famous book by Sun Tzu, I believe. Talks about literally the art of war, but the war of art. And what he talks about in that book is the power of the concept of resistance and how when you're doing something artistically or you're doing something even to improve yourself, oftentimes what you'll feel is resistance. It's like an energy. And I want you to start to look into that and kind of connect to that energy so you can get familiar with it. And what that is that's parts of you wanting to stay the same. Because you're noticing an area of your life where you can grow, where you can expand, where you can get better. But your mind, your emotions go, nah, man, we can't do that. We want to stay the same. We want to stay small. And so you notice the resistance. That's when it comes in. So you're always looking for that. Like, dude, I like with what I do with my work, like anytime I have like a workshop or an event or a retreat or something like that, I'll always get, let's say, X amount of people to sign up. And usually about 10 to 5% of the people don't show up. And 99% of the time, it's just resistance. It's because they had a moment, that awakening moment. They did the right thing. They bought the ticket. But then the event's not for another couple of weeks away, maybe a month, and then they start to lose momentum. And then they feel resistance and they back out. They get scared. Those parts that want to stay the same get loud, get louder than the voice that actually wants to grow. So you got to fucking dial that in, dude. Like, you've got to get really clear, really familiar with that voice. That's super important if you want to grow, if you want to expand in this life. Like, you got to get familiar with the energy of resistance. Dude, I know all the time. Like, when I go out or I go socialize, different things, I'll have this moment like, fuck, dude, like, I don't want to go. Like, I've had moments where I'm like angry. I'm like, I don't want to do this. But I know that's like what I need to do. It's what's going to make me grow. It's what's going to make me expand. And so just notice when you have those moments of resistance, get clear with it and say, I'm going anyways. I'm going to do the fucking thing. I'm moving towards my goals, my dreams, and my desires, like the tip of a sharp spear. That's the energy you embody as you do that. Okay, boom, fire it up thinking about that. Okay, let's move into dating next. We'll do dating, then relationships. And look, dude, this is the sad reality. Is most fucking men nowadays, it's Saturday, right now, today's Saturday. What do you think most men are doing? Sadly, like single men, what do you think they're doing today? The majority are going to stay home. That fucking hurts, dude. Like, they're going to stay home. They're going to allow their mind to find an excuse as to why that's okay. It's been, a lot of work this week. It's been hard, right? And they're going to watch some garbage bullshit on TV, and they're going to fucking repeat. And then you have fucking Groundhog's Day. I don't know if you remember that movie, like 1980s, 1990s movie, Groundhog's Day, where the guy just repeats the same day over and over. But that's what a lot of y'all motherfuckers' life looks like. And so what you're actually wanting to do to change that shit, because I'm assuming you want to change it. Like, wouldn't you like to go out and fucking hang out with some girls or have a date lined up? Is you're looking to do new things consistently and constantly. And again, that plays into the energy of resistance, because you're going to feel resistant to it. But you're looking for the new thing. Like, you should have unless you're like chilling, like Sunday night's great just to chill, right? No plans, recover, whatever. But like, make sure, and don't fucking make the excuse like I'm putting it out on my work. I worked so hard. Fantastic, right? We all did. Motherfucker, we still going out because winners celebrate. You got to learn to fucking celebrate in your life, dude. Save some energy for that shit. Or learn how to just fucking do it. Learn how to get through it because it's important. It'll keep you loose. It'll keep you sharp. It'll help you work your swagger. Because guess what? When you finally do get a girl and maybe you do get in a relationship, she's going to be attracted to that energy, that swagger energy, your looseness. And so if you finally get the girl some fucking miraculous way, because what you're doing right now ain't fucking working, then what? Then what are you do? How are you going to keep her? She's going to get bored to fucking death, dude. Don't be that dude. Do not become boring. One of the quickest ways to eliminate that shit is by going out. I go out completely sober. The friends I go out with go out sober. So that way the next day, if we're out late, guess what? I'm just a little fucking tired. I take a nap. Oh, well, not a big deal. Instead of being hungover, that shit will fuck you up, right? You drink, man, you hungover till like Thursday. I don't know about you, but I don't have the fucking luxury to do that. Like, I got shit to do. I got to move. I got to get gains in life. I got to improve in life. I have responsibility, places I want to go, things I want to create, and things I am creating. So I don't have time to get drunk like that. I'm trying to abuse my body like that. And so when you go out sober, you're going to have a little more resistance, aren't you? Yeah. Well, guess what? There you go. Move towards it. Go talk to the girl. Go put yourself out there. Start to make a group of guys that like to go out, meet some people, right? If you're not actually going out to the clubs, you don't have to do that, right? It doesn't have to be the clubs, the bars, whatever. Do something social. There's a lot of like those meetup groups. You can go to a meetup group. Go check out the meetup group. Have some kind of activity. Have a friend go, yo, let's check out the basketball game. Maybe you're in a college area. Go check out the ball game, right? But do something. And then, like, literally, I have a fucking whiteboard over here. They have my days of the week, Monday through Sunday. And each day has something going on. Except for Sunday, I still have stuff I could do. But Sundays, I like to chill a lot of times. But each day I have something that I'm actually engaging with, right? Tonight's going to be improv class. I was telling my clients this week, I'm like, bro, do you think any part of me wants to, like, do improv? Like I'm fucking comedian or actor or some shit? No. But it's a social event, and it stretches you. Helps you get out of your own way. You embrace the moment, act silly, right? It's called stretching the balloon. You stretch the balloon, and then when you come back to ordinary life, you have a little more buoyancy. And so you're looking for those types of things. fucking $6 or some shit to go to this improv class. So notice your mind will make excuses. That's just the resistance again. Oh, it's too expensive. I need to rest. I don't have fucking time. Dude, maybe every now and then, right? Like that's true. But 99% of the time it's just bullshit. You're just looking for an excuse. So find the resistance and go do the thing. Every night of the week, you should have no bored nights unless you're chilling, right? Sometimes we just got to chill, recover. That's cool. But just make sure it's not coming from a place of being an excuse. And then, because here's the thing, dude, like I talked about this yesterday. So make sure you know, listen to that because I talked about dating a lot. Like a lot of y'all are waiting for the right girl, but that's the wrong mindset because you're getting so few reps that when you finally do meet the right girl, you're going to come off very awkward. You're going to come off stiff. You're going to come off tight. And you'd be lucky if you make the connection. And then you'll just kind of repeat the same cycle. You'll be waiting again until magically she falls in your lap. Like, okay, fate, yes, awesome. Man, let's put, if we had $100, let's put some in fate. But it should probably be our lowest bet, right? After that, it's probably going to be like friends of friends. So you got to make sure you got friends, right? You're actually connecting with people. After that, it's going to be you actually going out and socializing, meeting people. And then up there, maybe you got fame. But I doubt y'all motherfuckers move towards fame. Like, fuck, just drop that one altogether. But those are kind of the three things we're looking at. So put your largest investment in you being proactively going out and meeting people. So you just want to put yourself in situations where you're going to meet other women or people of the opposite sex, right? To develop those dating, it's like having a dating IQ, learning little things that are the nuances of social dynamics and communication, learning to read her body language, being comfortable looking at her in the eyes, having a relaxed energy, allowing yourself to be her friend, but at the same time, be the man, right? It's a whole like thing you got to fill into. Because what you'll notice is you'll find someone attractive, watch your voice. It'll just go, oh, hey, what's up, Susie? How are you? Oh, da-da-da. Dude, that's beta shit, right? She ain't going to be attracted to that. That's friend zone energy. So you got to still be comfortable with being who you are, right? And that takes work, man. Approaching, talking to women, honestly, is a cleansing process because they will punish you for all your beta shit. Like anytime you're weak, you're being soft, you're being beta, they won't fucking engage with you. They'll punish you. So help you flush that shit out. And then you increase your odds of moving into a relationship. And so what I would encourage you to do, like, because what I want to share with you today is like ways to move into that, right? So one is for most dudes, it's have something going on Friday, Saturday night, during the week, even like have little activities that you do. And don't give me the fucking excuse like I'm waiting to make the money. You got to go now, bro. Because if you make the money, you'll be paying money to try to figure out how to do the shit I'm talking about right now, like legit. So you got to get the reps in right now. You got to get comfortable doing that. And dude, chicks are like, yeah, money, like kind of, I'm not going to say it really matters. Like, dude, most of the dudes they fucking are hooking up with are just some dudes who are like overly confident, to be honest, and have shit going on. Like that's a lot of the dudes they're hooking up with. So if you're working on yourself, bro, you're already ahead of the game. You're cool. Just go out there and start meeting with them, start connecting with them. Once you do that, you want to create some kind of system, some kind of funnels to stay in contact with them. Personally, I like to use Instagram because phone numbers are really intimate. Think about it, right? Like, hey, can I get your number? It's kind of like an intimate, like, oh, well, now we're going to start chatting with each other. You can do that. Absolutely. Right? If you feel like it, the moment's there, like, yeah, let's do it. Right. But what might be easier oftentimes, depending on the interaction, is just to grab her Instagram. Right? Hey, you got Instagram? Cool. Let me grab your Instagram. Which means, motherfucker, you got to have your Instagram. You got to get your shit curated on point. You got to put energy into that. It's weird to me if you don't have Instagram, and it's weird to them. Like, why not? Like, everybody's got social media. It doesn't need to be fucking spectacular. Your follower count literally doesn't matter. Like, what you focus on is just having a few dope pictures. Probably about 9 pictures. Take up the whole screen right there, the different little spots of you doing cool shit. That's it. And then get a taste for who you are. That's what you're doing. You're trying to give them more data, right? I think that like sales. If you just walked up right now, I'm like, hey, I got this coaching program. It's 20 grand. Like, fucking, all right, well, what is it, dude? Like, what's the return? What do I get out of it? Like, I don't know anything about it. But if I sit down and I tell you about it, I show you like results that it's had. Here's the details. Here's where you're at in life. Here's where we can go. Think of your like social media as just an extension of that. It's like, oh, if I go into relationship with this guy, what does his life look like? That's what you're creating. And so they're like, oh, damn, he likes to ride motorcycles. Oh, it looks like he surfs or he snowboards. Oh, wow, there he is hanging out with a bunch of friends and there's girls there as well. Like, well, he must be a safe guy. Like, you're looking to do that. That's all you got to do is just using that as an extension of who you are, right? So that might be where you're at right now. It's just make the fucking Instagram. It's going to be a simple, and then, bro, look, like you're going to be able to keep multiple, females, right, in this kind of like funnel, right? Because they're going to add in there over time. And look, dude, don't be fucking needy and hungry, right? Where most of y'all fuck up is you find one girl that's decently attractive, somewhat into you, and you become obsessed. Like you just start thinking about her. Bro, you have to break that cycle. Like if you meet one girl, immediately go look at another girl. Like go start to find another girl. And so that's what you're doing by grabbing them and pulling to your Instagram is you're not getting solely focused on one person. And then what you're doing, you keep your pictures kind of set. Every now and then maybe put new ones in, whatever, that's cool. But your stories, right, are always circulating. And so you're just adding new stories in over and over. Boom, boom. You're doing cool shit. Get comfortable doing it. Like, look, bro, I ain't a 13-year-old girl. Like, I don't enjoy fucking social media. But I understand what's going on here, right? I use it for my business a lot. Maybe just being social, show people like I got a dope life going on. That's what you're trying to do. Is like, look, it'll help you actually build a cool life. Because you're like, oh, I don't do that much cool shit. I'm fucking sit here on Saturday night playing my video game. Oh, look at me. No, dude, you're like, why don't we go do something, bro? Let's go out. And you take a picture of the city lights. Dope. Maybe you start to travel a little bit. Show some pictures of that, right? And don't just wait for all the excellent moments. Do the little things too. Like chicks dig all that stuff, right? Just the things that you do. You're showing them a window into your life. Don't fucking skip that, dude. That's another thing you'll just want to skip. Notice how many things your mind just wants to skip, bro. And it's like, oh, no, I don't want a girl like that. I don't want a girl that's into social media. I'm telling you, bro, I've heard all the excuses, right? Probably thought of myself a lot. But I just get familiar with hearing the energy of resistance and then breaking through that resistance. That's what you're looking for. Resistance. You're going to have resistance to all that shit because you have resistance to change. You have resistance to being the fucking man. What's up with that, right? Like, that's a bigger concept. That's some spiritual shit. But we got to allow ourselves to be the man. All right, let's move on to relationships. Different now. Now you're actually in a relationship. And what did I talk about yesterday? Again, if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to that. Talked about leading in the relationship. You have to allow yourself to be the man. She wants you to be the man. Now, some women might take a little bit of work on their part to relax and allow you to be the man. But if you are strong in your space, in your frame, which means think of a frame as like you deeply believe in who you are, kind of what you stand for, certain world views. That's why as you mature, as you go through life experiences, ups, downs, all of it, like it helps construct that frame. And that's really attractive to a female. It's just how you carry yourself. That's why a lot of times, brother, like they're very attracted to narcissistic dudes, narcissistic guys. But those always end up fucking getting smashed, right? But we can learn from that. We can learn like a narcissist, like in their mind, if you don't buy into their frame, if you don't like them, they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? That's why oftentimes they can make a lot of money because they like make a phone call, let's say, and someone's like, no, I don't want to buy it. Fucking don't call me. They're like, whoa, what the fuck's wrong with that person? And they just move on. They don't take it personal at all, right? There's like no emotional connection there. And so you're kind of trying to learn from that and garner what we can. And that's to build a strong frame, to build a foundation, a ground foundation of who you are. And that's ultimately what a woman is buying into. And so what does that mean? Well, guess what, motherfucker? It means you got to do shit in life. You got to do challenging things. You have to push yourself in these 3 areas that we talked about. Like, bro, if you work on the money game, if you're allowing yourself to move into that mastery type of energy, become good at certain things, you're going to go through a lot of battles, like a lot of challenges. It's going to be lonely. There's going to be just a variety. It's like going through a war zone, dude. There's going to be a lot of different stuff you're going to have to manipulate and maneuver and get through to get to the other side of that. But it'll be good for you. It's going to help you build that frame. And then you're trying to build your fitness. Well, guess what? Again, the mat, the gym, it's all very honest. It teaches you it gives you exactly what you put into it. Exactly. Nutrition, what you put into it, right? We're all different a little bit, but in general, it's going to be very honest with you. So you work hard. You're going to get the results from the effort that you put into it. And then dating, same thing. What did I say? You go talk to the girl, it's going to burn out those impurities. another thing that's good for you. Burn those impurities away. Learn how to take rejection. Don't learn how to not take it personal. Learn how to afterwards honor right action. Did you do the thing? Yeah, I did the thing. Don't worry about the result then. Do the thing again and again and again and again and again and again until you become the fucking man. And then when you find yourself in a relationship, you'll be the dude. You'll be that guy just naturally. And that's what she's going to buy into. I think that wraps it up, sums it up perfectly right there. We're going to keep rolling with this. We'll get more and more textures of this. So notice today we just added another layer to it, right? But these are the main things we're going to focus on: money, fitness, dating, relationships. And again, this is the Brotherhood Empire. And so the goal is you join the Brotherhood, you subscribe, you follow along, and we help you build your empire. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. You do this kind of stuff, you're building an empire, and you can invite people into it, and they get to experience the world that you've created. That's a really special thing. All right, my friend. Love you. Till next time. Peace.